John.
Hello, friends. Old new. This is this week's episode of the Cylon Johns and Jills. We have Johnny Be Crazy kind of here. He's Cyloned out this week. He's riding through it in a car. We have the lovely and amazing Clarissa Thompson. We have Bobby Catalano, and we have Mackenzie L. Burns. I'm going to let all these ladies introduce themselves. I'll let Johnny introduce himself, even though, as I said, he may be cutting up. Please forgive that. Amy True may be joining us later, but she has some extraneous circumstances going on right now in her own home, so that may not be happening. But we are going to talk about an amazing episode. This is Home Part 1. You might cry. That's my warning. Mackenzie, would you like to introduce yourself?
I did not cry, but hi everyone. I'm Mackenzie and I'm the button pusher for today. So I'll be the one to put at the end. But I'm excited to talk about this awesome episode. It's a kind of a more like calm episode out of like the ones that we've had in the last while, but it's a good one. And it's part 1 of 2, which is they always get us because most of the shows that we watch aren't usually part 1 of part 2. So it's weird to be left on a literal cliffhanger. But I'm happy to be here as always.
Clarissa.
Hi there, I'm Clarissa Thompson. Nice to see everybody again this week and really looking forward to going over this episode, part 1 of Home.
Bobby.
Hi everyone. Al, my Twitter husband. Glad to see you. Hey Bubba. Hey Reese. He's not here, but he wants to be. Okay, I'm ready.
My Twitter parents are in the chat right now. So funny.
Twitter parents, hilarious.
Go ahead.
What's up? What's up, Bubba and Reese? And is Al Red Sox fan in the chat?
Yes,
Al Red
he
Sox
is.
fan. What is going on, my man? Thank y'all for letting me come on during this time of me traveling back to my Cylon base star. I need to meet up with some Sharons. Bow chicka bow wow. Thank y'all for just coming on. Y'all are so awesome. John, fantastic intro. I couldn't have done it better myself, my friend. Glad to be here. Don't know how long I'll be here, but I'll just give my little quips and make fun of everyone. You know how I do. And save the good stuff, well, at least what I know, for Monday. I'm sticking my tongue out, but you can't see.
Cheater.
All right, so let's go right into this episode, guys. We zoom in on Adama, right there on the bridge. Now, we do have the previously on Battlestar Galactica, but let's just go straight to the episode. So, Adama's on the bridge, and he's handling this situation where 24 ships, 9,118 souls, dumped away for the fleet. How's Adama handling this? What are your thoughts here?
What's up with the whiteboard? What do they do about that now? Do you have it like a separate whiteboard? I just had to put that in there.
The whiteboard's on Colonial 1.
Well, you know what I mean. You have to draw a line down the center.
Right.
Oh, that's a lawn chair. It was just a joke. Sorry, it didn't come off across without my dead eye.
Well, I think with the number, they're still alive. They're just fleets divided.
Yeah, so the population is 47,858, and the amount of people that have left is 9,500 from Geminon and 6,250 from Caprica. So that's all the ones that have left the, I guess, the fleet. And then they talk about the specific, not modes of transportation, but like the specific vessels that have also went away, which is 12 transports, 7 freighters, 2 construction platforms, 1 cruiser, and 1 mining ship. So
three construction platforms.
Yeah. So the fact that they have to deal with all of this, it's like, ha! You get to you declare martial law. Well, yeah, this is your repercussions for it almost. Like, yeah, you declare martial law and you want to X out the current president. Sure. Well, she can create an uprising and take half of your shit. So it's like, deal with it. And they're not obviously dealing with it very well. They're just like, what do we do? I don't know. It's like, you've dealt with worse situations than half the fleet going missing. You've had to contain all of them and the survival of one commodity being missing. It's it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's it is kind of bad. But it's this is karma.
Rosalind snatched Adama's chain.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Ty, he's just like, what? You can see him screaming in the corner going, what?
Speaking of Ty, Adama's not the one who declared martial law.
No, yeah, but that whole
He was
situation.
the president, but he did not declare martial law.
Yeah, I just...
To be fair, it is put on him, though, since he is in command, and they assume it was him, so he didn't, but yeah, this is the price for what happened. He did pull a coup on the president, so this could be a price for that as well, to Southside's point.
Yeah, because it's made known. It's not Ty saying it. He just uses Adama's name and says that that Adama thought it was right to declare martial law. But even though it's Ty that says the words, he uses Adama's name almost. And anyway, yeah. Anyway, I think I've talked enough about this tiny little.
So chime in and just I don't know, slap John one time for me, and then go ahead and get started.
Psh, 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 psh. Oh wait, just once?
I don't mind, just as many times as you want.
Good one, Clarissa.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not a very long scene. Just reporting on the ships that are lost. They've lost 18,000 souls, but Adama's not interested in who they lost, and morale is down across the fleet, and the press is putting on pressure. And as soon as Ty says to Adama, families have been split apart, immediately Adama is, don't talk to me about family. He's well, this is a recurring theme for him throughout the episode, so I'll leave it. But he's definitely, he's got feelings right now about things, and he's not being very subtle about it.
Yeah, Adama's pulling a Jon Snow, huh?
Right?
Yeah, this actually drives home for me how similar Adama and Starbuck are, and why he loves her so much.
What is he doing? Nothing? Is he doing nothing?
What, Bobby?
I don't know. How is he acting different? What? I must have missed
he's
something.
You're either with me or against me. It's all or nothing. This is the development of Starbuck's character up until the last episode. Development of Starbuck's character, what we see is she's very much, you're with me or against me. And Adama very much has that mentality, but on the same note, both of them have can see beyond that if they are forced into it.
Yeah, but this episode, him and that other guy
Ty.
are clashing.
Ty?
Yeah, sorry, can't remember nothing. Yeah, they're kind of
me with less hair. That's Ty.
They're not getting along. They're not seeing eye to eye. They're not getting along, but they're, you could tell they're not seeing eye to eye. And I think I missed something because I don't know why. I know he caused a lot of trouble. Well, the other one was sick, but I mean, is he mad at him, or is he just like, now I don't know what to do?
I have feelings about this, because Ty was in the position of power.
Yeah. He
was making the calls, and as much as he complained about it, now that Adama's back, now he's starting to have problems with Adama's calls. And it's not because Adama's making bad calls that he's not used to, or is it because he's not making the calls anymore? Right?
Yeah. I just want to say real quick, Kenzie has some really good questions that we gathered today. So just don't forget to throw them out there when the time's appropriate. Just wanted to say
that. When we can kind of transition to this scene almost where, do we want to talk about Ty and Adama with the new the lieutenant that's been promoted to captain?
Yeah.
So the fact that Adama pretty much already made his decision, and who is now Lieutenant George Birch, who has now been elevated from lieutenant to now captain because Lee has now joined with Rosalind. He's kind of like, I thought we were on the same page, and I thought you basically wanted me to help you make the decision. And Adama's just like, yeah, I made my decision already. That can cause another rift in their sort of friendship. But I don't know.
I think that's where I caught on that there was an issue.
I think Adam had made the decision, but the reason he consulted Ty was that he wanted Ty's opinion. And Ty's opinion is of this bad lot that we have to pick from. That might be the best.
Yeah. So.
I mean, which turd am I going to pick out of the punch bowl? Like
the one with the tequila worm in it.
Yeah, it must be hard for Adama to have to pick another captain, even though his son is alive, because I would assume that decision is predominantly only done if extreme circumstances have happened, like death or debilitating injury, or so it must be weird for him to have to pick somebody else, knowing that his son is alive, and even though he's on the opposition at this point, and also because they don't have that many people left, especially after the Cylons invaded the ship, so picking the best out of the situation. It's I have these 5 people, and they're all not the best, and they're all not the worst, but I have to pick at least one of them, and I'll just go with that one. It's a difficult situation.
Yeah, but I would go so far as to say, he didn't have to pick the CAG. He could have left that up to Ty, but he didn't.
What the hell? Why the fuck would he leave it to Ty?
Ty's next, though.
I'm sorry, Clarissa, I'm interrupting.
That's okay. Adama would have to do the formality of giving him the promotion from lieutenant to captain. But, Ty had portfolios out. He was studying these things, part of his job is to be part of the decision-making process. And he was miffed when this kid walks in and Adama does the whole thing and Ty has to play like he's known the whole time. And he's like, well, thanks for putting me through all this work for nothing, dude.
Yeah, I never took it that way. I always thought he asked Ty to come in because he wanted to be reinforced in the decision that he had made.
But no, he even says in the conversation, he goes, you had me come in here so that we could pick out a CAG, and you already picked him?
I feel like he was testing Ty to make sure that they were on the same page as far as needing to have a CAG replaced immediately, and this needed to be immediately done. because the way he looked at Ty was kind of, I know how bad you screwed up, and right now I need to check your mindset and your thought process.
Right. This isn't the best option. This is just the least worst option.
I got that Ty was, miffed that procedure had been bypassed, and that he'd been bypassed in the process.
Mm-hmm.
That was what I got out of that scene.
Yeah. Bubba makes a funny comment of Adama is a yes, but he's a no. So now we need a tiebreaker.
Oh,
good one, Bubba.
Dewala broke that tie. She got all sassy this episode.
Who? Who did?
Dewala. D.
Oh, D. Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
We'll get to that in the end.
So after they've pretty much picked the new
no
captain,
Cylon.
Adama has to deal with the press, and one of them basically says, "You lied about Earth," or what? Like basically, so you're talking about that he's lied about Earth, and also dealing with the fact that Rosalind has now taken or assumed like a significant portion of the fleet. So she has to deal with that, and basically says that the quote-unquote lie that he told is not actually a lie, and that people who spew this lie can go and be put into the brig of, or saying wrong things can be put into the brig, and he has to deal with that now too. So he's dealing with a whole bunch of shit on all sides. So it's kind of crazy.
He's also asked by the first reporter, is he going to put the fleet back together? Which he never really answers. He said they made their choice, but he doesn't say that whether or not he's planning on putting the fleet back together.
Yeah.
And that just triggers him for sure.
Of course, because it's like, I can't keep them all together. Why? Or I'm just gonna like sow discourse for a little bit longer, which is. But I think it's until after he has that conversation with D, which is one of the final scenes in the episode, that he really realizes that I'm acting like I am 10 years old and we're school children fighting in the schoolyard. Like we have to come together as people and actually like get some semblance of order, because right now nothing is working. Yeah.
And then so when they leave, that's when they pass Baltar, like standing in his doorway smoking, right?
Yeah.
And he's just getting, wiggier and wiggier every episode. He looks like he should be standing there with that cigarette going,
Mr. Bigglesworth. He needs Dr. Evil.
Yeah, he didn't look right.
No.
Looked...
I would be happier if he was more Dr. Evil-like, because then at least he wouldn't look so like, I'm going out of my mind.
He sure is.
6 is his Mr. Bigglesworth.
I kind of like Mr.
I think it's
little bald kitty.
A testament to the actor, James Gallis. Like he doesn't play the mustache twirling villain. He's just like, I'm starting to not understand human beings. Like they make no sense.
True.
Oh,
also,
that's true.
Hashtag Fembot in the chat. Hashtag Fembot.
Bubba Husky says that Baltar's showing all the signs of a mass shooter.
You're right. He becomes a 6, his own fembot. That's funny.
The only thing that isn't a sign is he isn't sexually frustrated. So most mass shooters happen to be either virgins or people. No, really, look up the statistics. They're usually people that have been rejected by the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever they're interested in. Constant rejection. is usually why mass shooters. No, it's not always the case, but it's a good percentage.
Keep in mind, he's the vice president of the colony still.
Yeah.
He is now president. Now the president has been deposed. He is technically the president.
Yeah, and they're not addressed.
And Julianne89 points out amazing point here. Now that it's martial law, the people are becoming the enemy, just like Adam said.
Yeah.
Julianne always has good points.
She does.
Totally.
She does.
We'll get it on here summertime, I hope.
Yeah.
Pressure, Julianne, pressure.
We're
No
not
pressure,
scary.
Julianne.
We're not scary, even though we're on
Friend pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the Baltar is just like he's now like a featured character in this episode, because last episode he was just in the background. So it's funny to have like almost a catch up with Baltar. And he just like worried about like who's a Cylon, because he looks at all of these people and he's like, they may be a Cylon, they may be Cylon, they may be Cylon. It's like Oprah, and it's like, instead of you get this and you get this, it's like, you may be a Cylon and you may be a Cylon and you may be a Cylon.
I think the way that scene was shot was just brilliant. Like, just the people walking by in the corridor, and he's standing there and he's just looking at these people.
That's how I feel.
And he's like,
cracking meat bags.
It might be you.
Cracking toasters.
It's you. I know it's you.
Well, yeah, I'm a Cylon. You know that.
Are you? Yeah.
We are the Cylon John. I mean, John is a fucking Cylon too.
We're all Cylon.
You know it.
And the whole time, Six is doing the whole shh, it's fine, honey. It's fine.
She had some really nice lipstick on this week.
Right, yeah. That was a really good gloss for the day.
Yeah, it stuck right out there. I noticed it. I don't notice anything.
Oh, I was just like, check out those skinny eyebrows of 2005. Fabulous.
Bob, it seems to me you notice new stuff every week, and you've been one of the ones who've made the most revelations on this panel, believe it or not. I'm serious.
Too bad I can't remember what I said last week.
Doesn't matter. We have it wrote down.
Good, remind me.
John, you'll have to pull out the notes for her.
Yeah, I need them.
Oh, I have my Cylon count. I have my Cylon count. Actually, Amy True is in first place and Bobby is in second.
What's that? Cammy and her pot pie.
Oh my
so
God,
it looks like Cammy and her pot pie is the right answer. Damn it.
I miss Cammy. She was so cute.
We all do, honey. We all do.
She was so cute. Just kicking her feet, sitting on the bench, holding her damn toy.
I bet you that chicken pie made it through the nuclear blast. I bet it's nice and toasty.
I bet you if Cammy was here today, she would say, Adama, bring the fleet back together.
Yeah, she'd bring she'd bring her own, like, a personalized pot pie to Adama and be like, to get better and for you to be better and to bring the fleet back together.
By the way, there's cyanide in there.
Cyanide.
Tell. I do miss Cammy.
Yeah. So maybe Cammy is the right answer. Writing that down for later.
Right? Cammy.
I keep waiting.
Cylon.
She's stuck with me for a reason.
Julianne says that Cammy will be at the tomb of Athena.
What if Cammy is the baby?
What if Cammy is the baby and we're in a time loop?
I mean, Popeye sticks to your ribs, so she might have stuck with you for that reason.
You never mind the pot pie.
I haven't had pot pie in so long. God damn it, now I'm hungry.
I
only like the crust.
Should we talk about Captain Birch and his first go on target training?
Oh my God!
Because
he sucked.
Galactica scene, and
I'm hoping y'all notice some stuff there now. Y'all are just thinking he messed up. right?
Well, it's supposed to look like you
Did
did.
y'all pay attention? I just want to make sure y'all pay attention. There's something a little deeper there. Just that's all I'll say.
I did not pay attention, I can assure you.
I watched that scene a few times. He seems notably upset at screwing up everything.
You know, you didn't hear something that happened during. Ah, dang it! I can't say it, John. Can I? I can't see your face, so I can't tell you how much you're twirling your mustache. But if you can
Just
say it without
it!
spoiling,
Just
just
say
lead
it.
them into it.
He's
They're
twirling
in
say
the
it.
transmission.
All right, so
Just say it,
there was some radio comm interference, if you didn't
Yeah.
notice, and words were changed that weren't said.
Oh,
I didn't catch that.
Like he had said, "You're clear" or whatever, but that message was intended for somebody else, but
Yeah.
it got sent to both Cat and Hot Dog.
Yeah, he was talking to Hot Dog, and Kat thought he was talking to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only heard
Yeah.
hot dog.
See, and I thought that she's like all clear, and it was like he was reiterating, yes, I already said the all clear, meaning I said the all clear for Hot Dog, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Like he could just be bad at it because he's not trained yet to do this stuff.
Well, he made some really crazy faces like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble now.
You would think, though, that because he was a lieutenant, that he would have some sort of radio-based training.
But a field
maybe it could
promotion
be.
is going to work one way or the other.
Yeah, it
You know
could
what I
be.
mean?
Crash
Is it human error?
lieutenant.
Is a field promotion.
The thing is was that human error or was there interference? That's kind of the question I'm going for.
I could assume that it was. It seems like it was more interference rather than human error because he had someone sitting beside him while he was doing this. So, like, right? No,
Were they
it was in the
jammed?
Didn't the other thing? Yeah. The
Good face,
Cylons want
Martha.
to jam the radio, or it's what is it? Tom Selleck.
Scrambled?
Tom Selleck wants to scramble the Galactican radio.
Yeah, what's he up to?
Okay,
I didn't quite get that, but he's up to something.
We'll probably
Maybe one of the people flying was a Cylon and something was triggered from the base. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Or maybe there's some Cylons near that they don't know about. Maybe there's something going on the Galactica or another part of the fleet that we don't know about yet. I'm just trying to get y'all's brains going.
Yeah.
There are 8. There are 8 as far as we know in the fleet.
As far as we're told.
Right.
We don't
Well, there's
know.
12 in total, so.
That might be under duress.
Yeah.
There might be 12.
Julianne thought that the asteroids might have scrambled the radio.
Yeah, what was the metallurgical content of those asteroids anyway?
Oh no, we lost Johnny he'll be back maybe.
Yeah, like if they were nickel asteroids that might mess with. If they were iron-based asteroids, I can see where you're going there, Larissa.
John, why don't you just tell us?
You'll find out in about 2.5 seasons.
She's all like, spill the beans.
We can't pressure him to do it yet. One night we may break him.
I can ask nicely.
Yeah.
You can't break me.
What? Because you're ironborn?
No, because my mustache pulling skills are.
So, real quick, I might drop again. I just want to say about Julianne's comment. That's a very real possibility. You have many natural interferences. You can have a gamma ray burst from a dying star that turns into a supernova that could cause interference like that. So there's different things that could happen. You could see by his face he was slightly confused. It's ultimately on him, so he does think he messed up. But yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. It could be something simple. Other than that, that's my spiel. If I drop, no service, so you don't know. Love you guys. Everybody in the chat and on the panel.
Before you go, though, people thought that you're the first Cylon to go into space because of how you sound.
Oh yeah, it's super robot time. Look, right now I'm over the moon. I'll be headed for Saturn. I'm gonna do one orbit there, and then I'm gonna hit Europa. Sorry, and then on Jupiter.
And Bubba Husky wishes you a happy birthday.
Thanks, Bubba. Appreciate it, my friend. I'm gonna stay as long as I can. Thank you, buddy. You sang it to me beautifully last night.
Happy birthday.
I did what I could.
Yeah, we all did.
Clarissa sounded super excited about it.
Yeah.
I said happy birthday.
And then we'll do Cat Fight 2.0, but not with Cat. It'll be could we do like
Cersei. We're doing Cat Fight with the lioness herself, Cersei Lannister. We gotta get BBM on for that.
Well, that'll be a fun time. But the fact that there's a whole radio thing, it was I kind of expected something like that to happen. It's like you have two novices and one who's just recently had a transition in role. So there's kind of be something that goes wrong because none of these kids seem to actually do their job correctly besides Hot Dog. Almost. Like even Hot Dog messes up, but he messes up less than the other ones almost. So it's like I figured something was going to happen with that. And it also is probably written to make him look bad so that when the fleet comes back together, that they're ever more appreciative of Lee when he resurfaces. That's my thought.
So you think the fleet will come back together because there's somebody who's trying to kill Lee?
Well, this is part 1 of part 2, so I don't think they would leave. I don't think we're gonna go an entire season with them just going Rah!
No. There are two people actively trying to kill Lee.
No, I know, but the whole thing of coming back together and all that stuff. I don't know if unless they may try to there may be a situation where they're yeah, he died on in a random accident and we have a Dama in a grief period situation, kind of almost a reversal of what had happened, because say Lee goes on his own little adventure for an episode or two, and they're yeah, he died on Cobalt or whatever, but then he somehow is able to get back or something like that.
It's a good point. Can you hear me? I'm about to drop. I just want to say you're making great points there, and you can tell how much Sasa watches TV and knows how a plot line works. It's hilarious. Y'all are doing fantastic. Much love to y'all. When I get some more service, I'll try to hop back in. If not, I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Okay, my friends?
God bless you, John.
Thanks, everybody in the chat.
Happy birthday once again.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So say we all.
So say we all. Did you say that somebody's trying to kill Lee? Did I just hear that?
Selleck and that other guy. Tom Selleck.
Meyer.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. They're
the bad boys in leather.
Have to dispose.
See, I must have missed.
It's a scene where
I pay attention when I watch today? I don't think so.
To dispose, yeah, the easiest thing is to dispose Adama's son, pretty much. Yeah, discuss the command of the new fleet that they need Roslin, but that Lee is a problem. But
did they say what they're up to?
That they just have to dispose of him, they have to get rid of him.
Just for that.
Saying them all, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of that.
Okay, so there's a plan going on. They just didn't say what.
Yeah, they pretty much have to get Lee, get rid of Lee because of there's it's written in the scriptures that basically going to Cobalt means you have to people have to die for other people to join Cobalt. It insinuates that Lee is one of the people that has to die in order for everybody to go to the service of Cobalt in the end.
Well, Meyer even asks, do you believe in all this religious shit? Mm-hmm. And Zarek's no, but for me, one of the pivoting scenes in this episode is the conversation between Zarek and Meyer. Mm-hmm. I think it really shows you Tom Zarek is a lot more cynical than he acts like he really is. He's not the idealist that you think he is. He knows that you need to break a few eggs to make an omelet.
Yeah.
So does he belong in jail or not? Is he a good guy or not? What is up with that guy?
It depends on your view. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a view. I can't keep up.
do you think he's a terrorist or do you think he's a freedom fighter?
I don't have any clue. I don't like him.
Yeah. I don't know. But we can talk about that, or do you want to talk about Dee and when she goes to Adam and is like, bring the family back together?
Yeah, that was
After a
awesome.
whole
Well, I
bunch
think
of
we
stuff.
should save that for the end of the episode.
Oh, okay. So,
Well, I think that we've established, for the most part, on Galactica, that mostly it's centering on Adama's feelings and poor George Birch, which, funnily enough, I keep thinking George Burns. I don't know why, but now we've got George Burns and Tom Selleck on Battlestar Galactica.
is it Bubba who said George H. W. Bush? Birch.
Birch.
Birch, yeah.
So,
George H.
but yeah, I think that we could pretty much sum up for the first part of the Galactica stuff as, you know, poor Birch. Poor Birch.
So on the Astral Queen, we have the 12, Laura, Rosalind, and Lee argue about what they have to do next in terms of their mission and where they have to go and how many people they have to get. And they also have to talk about Starbuck and how she's coming with the arrow of Athena and waiting for her, and pretty much that when when Starbuck shows up, all hell breaks loose, because after Starbuck comes Sharon 2.0, aka Boomer 2.0, and but that's after having a because they're on an unidentified ship, and they were about to shoot it down, but they recognize Starbuck's voice, and then all of this shit breaks down. So we have discourse upon more discourse upon more discourse.
What do you think of Rosalind's showing on with the quorum? Like when they're all like, "Oh, he's Adama's son," blah blah, blah, and Rosalind's just like, "Shut up."
Yeah, she closes the subject right away, right?
Like she's just like, mic drop.
Yeah, absolutely. She's like, she goes, he broke me out of prison and brought me here, so the subject's closed. Next subject. Like she's done with it.
Do you think about the different press scenes? Like Rosalind can deal with the press. I can't. We saw that last episode.
Did they have press in the room, or isn't it just the quorum?
Yeah, it's the quorum of 12. There was no press.
Right. Yeah. The press is still with Fleet. Rosalind can deal with these.
The 12
politicians,
leaders.
Civies.
Yeah, they're politicians.
I guess probably she may have gotten some sort of slight media training, almost, in how to deal with, even though this is like war times, obviously, but she may have had some slight press/media training, know how to deal with them, because that's an intense situation, having to deal with a press and that much press. And so it's compared to like Adama or Tai, where they don't actually know how to address, like they know how to address them, but address them in the way of not basically like lashing out at the press, like kind of what Adama did earlier in this episode. Just media training or media handling and how you deal with that in a sense. And she is a teacher, or she was an ex-teacher, so she knows how to deal with small kids, but little kids fighting. So if she can apply the tactics of small children onto big children, then she kind of wins in the situation almost.
I think that she's really good at, I mean, if she's a teacher, she's good at sorting out the spit disturbers. you know? Like she sees who's bringing up the most controversial thing that they can bring up, like that fellow that had supported bringing Zarek into the quorum was the one that was arguing, saying, well, Adama could bring an attack fleet. What are we going to do then? Which is when Zarek, and Meyer doesn't chime in with this. He doesn't come in till later to take him out, but that's when he says, we have ships. We need to make sure everyone is armed. And he doesn't like at that moment when Lee strikes him down and says, that is suicide. Don't think for a second that any of you have the skills to take out Galactica and its crew. Like, don't live under any illusions at all about that.
Right. And that makes you wonder, like, does Zarek know this? Is he idealistic enough that he doesn't realize this? Or does he really want, like what we're talking about, since this character was introduced, does he just want to be a martyr?
I don't think he cares about collateral damage.
No.
He's going to be the first collateral damage, though.
He probably doesn't.
But that doesn't bother him either. The thing is that he doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to him whether it's him or other people that are being taken out. For
me, Lee's monologue in this episode was one of the best in this entire season.
Yeah.
When he's like, "Do you guys think you're gonna stand?" Like, you think about it, like, we've all got yachts.
Yeah.
And we're trying to stand up to a fracking aircraft carrier.
Mm-hmm.
We've got yachts with few guns on them.
And people willing to yield guns and such.
And we're trying to stand up to an aircraft carrier that's armed by capable military personnel. Like, and he's just like, "You're a fracking moron." Like, I think this is gonna work.
Bye, Al. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, Al.
Yeah. And then after all of the whole thing, they find out that there's the unidentified ship, and they have to figure out who they're gonna, like, if they're gonna attack or not. And then it's Starbuck who goes over the radio. So whoever, I can't remember who guessed if they were going to Galactica or to Rosalind and Lee. I think I was one of those people that said they're going to go to Rosalind and Lee.
She was going to go back to Cobalt.
Oh, Cobalt.
So regardless of who's there,
Cobalt, yeah.
She was, and it happens that Rosalind and a third of the fleet come there.
Yeah. And,
I was interested in this scene in that because there's Rosalind is still addressing the quorum of 12 when Meyer comes in to get Zarek to show him what's going on with this ship, in this incoming ship. And they're sitting there and they're debating whether or not they should fire at this ship. And I'm thinking to myself, who gave them the green light to be telling people to fire missiles or guns or anything? Yeah. I mean, like, I can understand needing to be prepared. If the Cylons appear, you have to defend yourself. But I'm thinking, I'm like, why is this guy and Zarek making these decisions when there's a military officer and the president in the very next room? But then, they come in. Yeah. And I guess that was kind of the same thing that would have been on their mind. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, and also Apollo and Rosalind, if you take it into account, are at Derek's mercy.
Mm-hmm. Like, they're guests.
They're guests. Yeah.
But they didn't.
They're guests, but they're people everybody's going to listen to. But they're guests.
They didn't do the salted bread. God damn it! So, oh no, guest right.
Damn.
It's kind of weird. How come Lee didn't side with his father?
Well, his dad was wrong. So
yeah.
His dad might have been wrong, but it's his dad.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things the show drives home is or your principles more important than your loyalties.
Mhm.
You know, like for Lee, I think Lee is doing what he thinks is right. I think he's doing what he thinks is standing up for democracy, standing up for, you know, like he says in oh, I forget which episode it is, but he's like, we are here to represent democracy. That's why we have a military. It's to stand up for that democracy and to stand up for it. And I think he feels that parting ways from his father, like that's what he was doing.
Well, his father probably wouldn't have made that decision. But it's just, it's tough to watch that because he loves his father.
Obviously.
Yeah.
He knows he has to make his right decision. So.
It wouldn't be a hard decision if he didn't love his dad. Like if he hated his dad, it'd be like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, automatically go the other way.
Yeah, it's like I'll go with my pseudo mom.
Television.
Right? It's like I'll go with my pseudo mom, and we'll go and take back the world together, or something like that, right?
Like if it weren't a difficult decision, it wouldn't be intriguing. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't emotionally move you. He has to choose between like family loyalty and his ethical loyalty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So basically Starbuck gets on the ship afterwards, and
she gets a big smooch.
Lee ends up kissing her, which is like a complete shock for the audience and herself. And then she sees and then Lee sees a second Sharon, and he just like about freaks out, is about to shoot her. And the funny thing is, it's in the other cheek that he wants to almost shoot her in, but then Hilo is about to shoot Lee, so it's a trifecta of sorts.
Kenzie, are you able to pull up your thumbnail that you made for this episode? Oh my gosh, this image is just so perfect. No, I know you have a lot of pictures of Johnny. But...
1 second. Okay, it'll take me a second, but I'll do it. Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of like the amount of let me see if I can grab it. Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah, I got it now.
You can do it.
We just open the.
Your thumbnail is so brilliant.
Oh, here we go.
This moment right here. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to keep talking. But
careful,
it's
Lee.
When
you might boomer.
When it's the ironic part of it, I was like almost about to be like, if he shoots the other cheek, that would have been hilarious. So then both Sharons have had both either cheeks shot out, but it's it's almost a chain of shooting, and it's almost like it would have been even funnier if it was like Kara not only trying to stop Liz Lee from trying to shoot Sharon, but almost at the same time about shooting, like potentially like pulling
Look
a
at
gun
that mean face.
Don't shoot Hilo, like almost at the same time.
And of all people, it's Starbuck trying to break this up. Like
yeah. Not saying like like it's two men essentially are pointing at each other / Sharon, and it's a tense situation because even Rosin goes, "Who are
Starbuck's
you?"
the most like violent and volatile person who we've been introduced to, and she's the one who's like, "Hey, calm down."
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I know we just kissed and all, but don't shoot this one, even though she because at this moment Starbuck doesn't know that Adama was shot buy a copy of Sharon. So it's emotional for Lee, and then when she ultimately finds out that Sharon, quote unquote, had shot Adama, she kind of just goes into like this moment of shock. She's like, "What?" And like if he had survived, like she starts questioning if he survived or not. It's like, yeah, luckily he's woken up and survived. But it's a thing of like Starbuck almost going, "Wait, I just protected you for 2 seconds, and then I realized, hold on, you may have just shot one of the most important people to me, and then." Now that he's okay, it's like, okay, I can kind of breathe for a second, but it's her
Well, she
dealing.
wanted to kill her a minute ago.
Yeah. So
And so did Hilo.
That's my question for you ladies.
Everybody wants to kill Sharon.
What, John?
I said, is this Sharon Boomer?
Why aren't they all Sharon boomers? Well,
No,
they are to me.
Sharon Boomer. Are they the same person?
Are they
they
have slight personality changes, but that's just I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand that. If they're copies, they're copies.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to drift back into the whole Star Trek connection here. Because if you look at the Trill on Star Trek, they're a symbiotic race. So there's a planet full of humanoids, and they're compatible with this race of sort of aquatic animal things that are basically, symbiotic organisms that if you're chosen, then it's put in your body and you become basically two people. You become the person that you were, but you also become the personality of the symbiote that you just put in your body. And you have to be selected for this process because all the memories of all the previous hosts that this symbiote has had become your memories too. So, for example, on DS9, it's not just Jadzia Dax, but it's also later Esri Dax, and before that, a character called Curzon Dax. And
what the hell are you talking about?
I'm talking. I'm talking about
Reed Milton and smoke weed.
Oh no!
So you're using words I'd never heard.
Like a symbiont is an organism that needs another organism to support its life, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have that on my phone right now.
Okay, so is it sort of a similar thing where the data of the personality in a Cylon is like a symbiont, and that the bodies are the hosts? So while they're not the same person, they carry those memories and certain personality traits of other hosts of that symbiont.
So they're the same, but not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the question, Bobby. You think that this Sharon, having gone through different experiences than Boomer, that's why I like this separation. There's Caprica Sharon and there's Boomer.
True.
This is Caprica Sharon. She has gone through different experiences than Boomer.
So she's never called Boomer. She's not a pilot. She is a pilot.
Made her an entirely different person because she's gone through these different experiences. Because she's fallen in love. Because she's pregnant. Because she had her time alone with Hilo. Hot Hilo.
Was it Bubba earlier in the comments that was saying, do it from behind?
All sex from
detector?
Behind. Yeah, all sex from behind.
I missed that.
Then if you see the light going up and down her spine,
at Cylon test. Yeah. Hashtag all sex from behind at Cylon testing.
That's hilarious.
Smart move.
Well, the glowy spine, yeah, you gotta do the glowy spine. But because they're also about to put Sharon out the airlock for what she did to Adama, but Starbuck convinces them otherwise, and she's like, no, and Hilo almost convinces them otherwise to keep her alive, for what she knows.
What did you think of how much of a badass Rosalind is in this episode?
Mm-hmm. She looks terrible.
Cancer will do that to you.
Yeah.
She's
can be bitchy.
looking rough, yeah.
Yeah, you can be bitchy and you can look a little rough, but yeah, when you got, yeah, who knows how much Kamala extract she has
And
left?
she doesn't expect to live through this, right?
No.
It says she'll die.
Yeah, well, it's written in the scriptures that a leader will bring them to Earth or Kobol in this point.
Yeah,
And,
sick one near death.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there's the gun thing that happened.
Can I just say it? Is anybody going to be offended?
What?
This is a term used in films, okay? It is not an offensive term. I don't mean it offensively. It's a reference from Western films, the Mexican standoff.
That's not offensive.
No.
Okay, for so I just want to make sure I'm not hitting anybody's triggers or
Okay, you're not hitting mine.
anything like
but
that.
I got to be right back.
Okay.
The reason the term is used is because in a lot of Western films, they take place south of the Texas-Mexico border. There are scenes where people are pointing guns at each other, and everybody's got somebody's got to be like,
trained on
hey,
somebody else.
We're gonna on the count of 3. We're gonna, and I think they're okay. I threw that ball in the court. I guess I should go with it. I do not mean that offensively towards any person or group of people or anything like that. It's film reference. It's actually used really well in what Quentin Tarantino film.
Glorious.
Glorious Bastards, yeah.
Yeah, Glorious. I figured as much.
And that's what this scene is. And yeah, I thought it was pretty awesome, actually.
I'm triggered and offended by south of the border, said Julianne. Well, for me and Mackenzie, you guys are south of the border, so there.
Yeah. Ha. And speaking of America, I'm having a Kinder Surprise chocolate.
Oh, dude. I did my Valentine's keto cheat yesterday.
Yeah.
I got sushi out of the deal. So when Rosalind has them all drop their guns, a part of me is not surprised that she was like, throw her out there, lock. But I was just like, oh, don't do that, man. But they did, and oh my goodness, I got a little fuzzy Cylon that won't leave me alone right now.
Well, and then Rosalind is like,
she's just like
Hilo. She's like, oh, I knew she's telling the truth because I said Hilo will get killed as a Cylon supporter.
Mm-hmm.
She can be
like when she's having that conversation about, yeah, for sure. And Lee's pissed because he's like, thanks for bringing in the trash, Kara. That was a great line.
Mm-hmm.
Get to that scene in a moment because that's my favorite scene in the entire episode is the ball scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's their last scene together in the episode. Oh no, it's not because they're down on the
Johnny
planet.
and I will probably go into it more on Monday, but
yeah,
the ball scene I think is very important.
We can talk about like their scene almost watching what Sharon is doing in like the cage almost, and how like Lee is like watching her, and then Starbuck is like, don't do anything, like basically that you wouldn't regret. And they're playing with the ball or something, and this is when he slips in the I love you Starbuck or something in it, and then she's like, you said you love me.
Yeah.
What was
like
that
you
part
said
in the
you
middle?
love me.
Oh gosh, yes. What
and
was
it's
that part in the middle?
Why are you acting so strange about like him saying that oh you love me, oh you really, like it's not like that whole like oh you really love me, like a moment where she's actually shocked, she's just pretending. But it's like, don't you remember like XYZ, number of episodes ago, your holy shit moment. Like, come on, girl.
Holy
Come-
shit.
Bring yourself together and take that moment and realize that what you actually may want could come true if you actually just take it in and accept it.
Are Starbuck and Apollo going to end up together? That's the question, ladies.
Well, let me tell you a little something.
It's a friends
Hope
it's
so.
a friends to lovers situation.
Here's a little thing, you know. I've spent times in my life where I was single for a while, and I have had times where I started dating someone, and sometimes these things just snowball. You don't try. At some point, like, she falls into the sack with Baltar, and then she calls out the wrong name, and then she meets this other dude in another place, and then the guy that she really wants her, and she's just like, how much time has passed? Like a few weeks? Yeah, no, that's it. There's something that happens.
Yeah.
Once you start getting some, then it just starts flying to you, and you're just like, whoa, okay, whoa. And
Do you realize why the ball was so important to her?
Well, yeah, it was a pyramid ball, and it belonged to Taekwondo Doug. Anders, that's his name.
Who, as Julianne points out, is a Apollo substitute.
Right? He's cute in the same way that Apollo's cute.
May I please have my ball back? May I please have my ball back? We have more Kareth Ray's politeness in this episode than the entire series.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna just apologize or
It's like arguing with your brother. Mukbang on Mackenzie's end.
I know, right? Chocolate is wicked.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about their whole dynamic. I mean, Apollo's her brother. He's also someone she really into. Like,
It's friends to
my little Cylon.
It's that trope almost of friends to lovers. Like, they've been friends for so long, they're pretty much family at this point. So it's like, almost, why not take that almost step in their relationship? I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, and as a millennial term, end game, in that sense of that they're in being like a slow burn type of relationship where it's like end of season 2, maybe into season 3, that really like affirms their relationship. It's going to take much longer, have to go through more stuff and all of that stuff, but there's going to be a point in either the second to last season or the last season where they will officially like recognize that both of them like each other in that way at the right time, and then they'll just be together, even though they'll, in the beginning, there may be stipulation of like, you're the person that was like, you were my brother's lover and you are the brother of my lover, so it's a little awkward. It's like Game of Thrones-ish, but it'll be like a weird funny thing that they'll have to go with. But yeah, it'll be something like that.
Yeah, it is kind of like the whole idea of them together is kind of cringy, but at the same time, like, I get it. You know?
It's happened before.
Although I will say in that scene, especially the shot that you had, the scene, the screen still when they're all holding the guns, did you notice that Lee was wearing long sleeves because he couldn't compete with Hilo's hunka forearms?
Oh my god.
Couldn't, man. They were
forearm.
just like, I'm like Popeye. Oh my god.
It's a forearm competition. How many?
Yeah, they had Lee in long sleeves for a reason.
There are a lot of great like biceps, triceps, and what's this one called? Shit. I took anatomy in like 9th grade. That was like fucking 20 some odd years.
Well, you got your
Wonder Woman
the
shield.
biceps, the tricep. This is like your forearm muscles.
Oh, what's the muscle called right here?
I don't know the
forearm muscle.
Julianne says Those forearms were mesmerizing.
Oh, one that gets Clarissa all worked up. What's that muscle called?
I don't know. But also, we have to talk about. Julianne wanted us to talk about Apollo smelling the ball, the pyramid ball, like why he was smelling it.
Yeah, was
Weirdo.
it like smelling the old pig skin because it's like that memory thing? That like leather or
Maybe, or maybe because he thinks that might smell like Caprica, like there may be some sort of like weird smell that comes from Caprica that's indistinguishable from
like
other smells.
like Andrew's armpit from holding the ball.
Deodorant,
Oh
like
gosh, this is the only bone I'm throwing this episode.
Oh, I forgot to send my sister a
Sarah
link.
has not said anything about Anders yet.
he's like a
Here's my
one-off.
bone.
Oh, she said nothing. She hasn't told them about the baby clinic, which they have to.
Yeah, they have to talk about the.
They have to talk about
What-
Cylon motives.
Hi,
It's gonna come up.
we were talking about how Apollo was smelling a pyramid ball, which is like a sports ball.
He's a
No,
weirdo.
so. Yeah,
No,
and
Kara has not said anything about her experience on Caprica as far as we know.
No.
no, she hasn't mentioned it yet. She's like, I've experienced things, and you've experienced things, and we'll discuss that at a further venture. Pretty much is what she said.
Yeah, she hasn't said anything about
maybe
Anders.
in part
She hasn't
2.
said
This
anything about the farm.
Yeah, this is
Like-
only part 1, so we're still
That's
in
the
the
bone
same
I'm throwing.
timeline. We're gonna be in the same relative timeline in terms of like amount of days in in 2 episodes. So they may discuss that in part 2. So we'll have to wait until next week to figure that out. Yeah, they talk and the whole I love you Starbuck, and then that, and then the last.
I didn't hear him say that.
He says.
Really?
He says.
I
He
really
goes-
got to watch this one over. I missed a
Bobby,
lot.
and you also have to watch them kiss too.
Where's Amy? Because Amy would have wrote this down word for word.
Which part?
I saw him plant a kiss on her that looked like it meant something, and she blew it off.
No, wait.
Yeah.
What Apollo says to Starbuck while they're sitting there in the locker room, and he's like, "If you need to talk to me, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I love you." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
I'm your friend, and you can talk to me, and I love
Damn
you,
it.
Kara. And she's like, and he goes, I just want you to know that whatever you need, I'm here for you. And
I
she's
saw
like,
her give him shit.
over taking her ball.
Mm-hmm.
But then she goes, what was that middle part?
Yeah, what was that middle part?
That
She's
you love
like,
me.
You love me? What? He's like, you love me.
Yeah, and then she goes, you love, and then it's like, stop it. And as he walks away,
She's like, no, you can't take it back. No take backsies.
once
you
you
love
dish
me.
it, you can't take it back.
So
It's
is she
interesting 'cause
happy
at
or
first
not?
It's him putting thorns in her. This whole scene is him putting thorns in her side, and then it
Yeah.
ends with her putting thorns in his side because of what he said.
Yeah.
Like-
And,
I thought it was brilliantly done. Brilliantly shot.
and then after this, it's that Rosalind talks to Sharon, and that she really does believe that she's in love with Hilo, and that she almost threatens to put Hilo out of the airlock, to convince Sharon to pretty much tell her where she has to go in terms of finding the tomb of Athena, which that would have been an interesting twist if they pushed Hilo out of the airlock, and how Sharon would have had to deal with it. Yeah, it's kind of a situation, but she ends up agreeing to work with Rosalind. What do you think about it?
She's got nothing to worry about. Those beefy forearms will keep them tightly held on.
He'll like cling
inside.
onto the door, like the handle of the door for the airlock. And then the last part of on Stargate, or Astral Queen, not Stargate. Astral Queen is
The wrong show.
is the Zarek and Meyer conversation. So if we want, we can go to Kobol, which is like an in between, or like no, not in between, but we can talk about. Or do you want to talk about the? We kind of did talk about how they have to dispose Lee, so they can gain power.
Okay, I have opinions about that scene, but I want to wait till you.
No, we can talk about it now if you want.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing.
Happy camper.
I'm like, here's the thing. Okay, so Zarek is talking to Meyer, but Meyer's been very vocal in this episode, I've noticed.
Is that his friend?
Yeah,
that's the other
that's
guy.
That's his special
The
little
leather boy.
spit disturber friend.
Oh, okay.
So here's the thing that I'm kind of like trying to work out in my head. Zarek is this figurehead in many ways because of stuff that he's done before. How long has Meyer been with him? Do we know?
Since the Astral Queen. He
So
was,
just since the Astral Queen, they did not have a relationship before that?
no, they were prison bitches together.
Okay.
Hey, Lady Dreamfire.
So this is sort of what I'm wondering.
That's a song, I think.
Is Meyer a henchman or is he a string puller?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Right? Like, is Zarek being the
He's an
dance
instigator.
puppet dance? Well, that right? That was kind of what I was getting from Meyer too.
Dance, monkeys, dance.
But the thing is that I don't get the impression that Zarek is a fool. I think that Meyer, in his own way, is trying to manipulate Zarek into a series of decisions. But I think that Zarek is onto him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what set me off was this scene when they were talking and everything was all so vague about what they have to do. And as soon as Zarek sat down and he goes, you know, I hadn't thought of that. And I was like, baloney. Baloney, you didn't think of that. You thought of that.
Yeah.
So I think that Meyer is trying to use Zarek for his own advancement. But I think that Zarek sees him for what it is and sees himself enough as a martyr and that he's wise to Meyer that I think that he's in the end going to let Meyer be his own undoing. I don't think Meyer's long for this show.
Yeah.
So at the risk of offending anybody, I'm trying not to. I'm just making a basic metaphor. So do you see Tom Zarek as Bobby Sands?
Pardon me?
Do you see Tom Zarek as Bobby Sands? Bobby Sands was the IRA member who went on under strike back in the 1980s, and
Bobby Sands.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I was like, Bobby says what? What did you say, Bobby?
I didn't do it this time.
Bobby says what?
And like I said, I mean, this is some pretty heavy stuff we're talking
Hashtag Bobby
about.
says what?
And I want everyone to know we're talking about a fictional show, and I'm not trying to pull any political stuff out here or anything like that. I'm just, I'm for clarification. I'm asking Clarissa a question. Like, do you see him as a somewhat similar character?
Yeah, I do. I just, I think that Zarek is more skilled in manipulation than even the other manipulators that he's been sharing a prison ship with realize. I mean, that's why they all look to him as a leader. Because he knows how to manipulate situations and people. So
I don't think
just
Bobby Sands was a very selfish person. I mean, he fracking starved to death.
no. But I'm not talking about how. I'm not saying how he is like him as a martyr. I'm like as a strategist.
Okay, so you're thinking more like
I don't know that his motives are genuine, but I know that he has ambitions of his own, and I don't, and whatever those are, I don't think he wants other people coming in and putting their own stamp on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
agreed.
Because you'd want to sow your own discourse and then just pave the way just for yourself. You don't want multiple people involved, especially if you want to do things the right way. If there's even a right way.
I want to think that Zarek guy is good with, he does bad stuff, I think, but I want to think he's good.
Good
Me.
intentions with misguided methods.
Yeah, sometimes you
Oh,
just
yeah. No, I
gotta
no.
do something wrong to get it right,
Yeah.
It's
Or
just a fact.
yeah, like I think like what Bobby's kind of saying is like he's painted with the I'm an evil person a brush, but on the inside he's actually doing it for the right reasons almost, or what can be like construed as the right reasons, even though by the mass audience or the mass other characters this is bad, almost in a sense, which
Is
is kind
Tom
of what I feel.
is Tom Zarek Daenerys Targaryen?
I bet.
Wait,
Tom sound like Daenerys Targaryen.
it goes back to like one person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It all depends on where you're coming from.
The hero is the
Batman.
hero is the villain
Is
of
he
the other
Batman?
side.
Oh, poor Batman.
Yeah.
I love my
I mean,
superheroes.
let me ask you, ladies. It's a total side note, and I know I'm derailing things a bit. Is there an actual evil character you have come across in this show yet? Like a person who you would say is just an evil, horrible, terrible person. Ellen Ty's
Six.
like a bad drunk who's not fun to be around, but even Ellen Ty, like, is there an
Ellen Ty has redeemable qualities in a sense. She's not like
Where?
in a sense like she's a person of her own circumstances. Like she's a what is it?
True.
Like she creates her own chaos. She's a person who creates her own chaos for herself and for her husband. Like there's
Littlefinger with a smile on her face?
the only I guess truly evil people you could say on the show who aren't actually real people is like technically the Centurion models of the Cylons.
How are they evil?
Technically.
They do what they're told to do.
Well, you can
Julianne's
say
saying
technically,
something.
Oh, yeah. She says, "Does Zarek have to act like a criminal around other criminals as part of his manipulation, or is he being truthful with Meyer?" I feel like it's probably acting. You have to act like a criminal to be like to be on like the in crowd. It's like right. You have to act like you're popular to be popular or something.
And to keep safe, probably.
Yeah, meant to be safe.
Well,
Because you don't want him to be shivved in the middle of the night. Sorry, what?
well, you don't have to lie to manipulate someone, though. You can scout out other people's natural tendencies and then shift circumstances and conversations and situations in such a way that the person's natural tendencies work to your advantage. That's how people who are effective at manipulation work, because all they have to do is know you, and they don't necessarily have to lie. They just make circumstances in place, bring circumstances to light that will work to their advantage in your presence.
Sorry, Andrew. Whether they lie or not, like, can you think of any one single character in this show who you would call an evil person?
6.
Cylon or human?
You can't really call everybody's like gray. Like a lot of people are just gray, except for
Right.
Cammy. Cammy's probably more white than gray, because
Innocent. She's innocent.
And Boxy's probably more white than gray, but the mass majority of the characters are gray.
I don't know.
Just-
He's a bit smarmy, that kid.
Where did he go?
That's a
video
question.
I mean, at
He's in
least
the arcade.
Cammy, you can guess she blew up with everybody, but Boxy was rescued and on there eating cookies
Well, he did mention that there was kids separated from their parents. So maybe Boxy shows up in the next couple episodes.
Maybe.
Yeah, but we know
But-
he's alive.
But like, yeah, I mean, you have characters who do bad things or make bad decisions, but are they evil?
What about
No.
Is Ty
Doral?
evil? No. I
Dor-
got
I make bad decisions all the time. I'm not evil.
and
Bobby.
It's true.
no,
What about
I'm
Doral
just
and
curious.
Leoben?
Like for me, this is the brilliance of the show: is that you don't really have some master villain.
Yeah, there's no 100% black
I haven't
character.
seen.
Not
I
like
haven't
black,
seen-
morally black character.
I haven't seen any motivation to imbue good qualities on Leoben or Doral or
Yeah.
Simon.
Leoben's a religious
Simon?
fanatic.
Like maybe you're looking at it from the viewpoint of somebody who's seen the entire series, but we haven't really been given the
Yeah, there's
meat to
no
chow
one,
down on quite yet to make a educated
there's
guess.
there's no one that's outwardly like an evil person. Like yeah, I know where you're coming from. Like there's
Like,
no
we
like
haven't-
Ramsay
We haven't
Bolton.
seen Simon do anything good.
Yeah.
So
But is that part of his quote unquote narrative, or is that actually just how
Wait, who's Simon?
the doctor that
the
took out
doctor.
Oh, the
All
egg
three
thief?
guys.
the guy that was taking
Yeah, but I
Starbucks
mean-
eggs and stuff. Yeah.
Egg
Are
thief.
they people or aren't they?
Hashtag egg
Like,
thief.
Are they people or aren't they? I mean, just because it's something he believes in doesn't mean he was a good guy. I mean, I hate to go back to like a pretty common comparison, but Hitler thought he was doing the right thing too, but he wasn't a good guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that doesn't, just because somebody believes in a cause doesn't mean that they're good,
Yeah, the cause isn't always 100%.
It's true.
especially when it's connected to their own ambitions.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, so yeah, I just I don't see them. I don't see how Zarek and Myers. I don't think this is a partnership that's going to last.
No,
I
I
think-
feel yeah.
I think Zarek's going to have Meyer taken out.
Yeah, most definitely. It'll be one of those situations of like, yeah, we'll work alongside you. Yeah. And then when the moment hits, just or ride him out to like Rosalind or something.
Or
Yeah.
or rat him out to Apollo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So now that let's say Adama, now that Rosalind has the arrow of Athena, they land on Kobol, and pretty much they're told that from the scriptures that the path to the tomb of Athena is along a stone ridge. So, but they also do know that when going into Kobol, that basically the price of just landing on Kobol means death. So pretty much, is it? I can never pronounce their name. It's like Elsha or
Alosha.
Alosha. There we go. Steps basically on a landmine, and it basically dies. And there's the explosion of the shrapnel, which sends the Centurions on like let's go kill everybody spree. And we lose a couple red shirts, and Sharon grabs one of the, I guess, the bigger weapons and is about to like. Apollo thinks that she's about to shoot him, but it's actually a Centurion model that's behind him, and they end up. He ends up having his life saved by Sharon, and after the gunfire is over, Alosha is found dead, but Rosalind knows that she must go on, but she takes the bloody covered book, and they continue on their journey. So, what about the fight on Kobol? Do we have one to talk about?
I want to say hi, Jennifer Catalano.
Yeah.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Oh, and
My voice
Catherine
isn't as
Harding has
sexy as
joined
Johnny's,
us.
but I will tell
And
you out.
Dexter's mom, who's now a fellow Canadian, so we have another Canadian in the chat. John, how do you feel about that?
Who did you say is here? Who else?
Dexter's mom is Canadian, is here, and she's
We
still
should,
Canadian. AU is in the chat. Let's see.
AU is in the house.
Bubba's still here with us. Bubba thinks that hashtag Nanolon Sticks is pure evil, or pretty evil.
Really?
Pretty evil,
no.
not pure evil. Pretty evil.
Ben has come in here. Lady Dreamfire.
Yeah.
Who's Catherine?
Catherine Harding. She's like she was from Geek
Oh,
Cat
there
1.
she is. Hi,
Yeah.
Catherine.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Welcome.
that. And I just saw it now.
Yeah, and a few lovely people stopped by.
Oh, you're a newfie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Say hi to the boys.
The boys.
Hi to the boys.
Yeah, so what do we feel about the attack on Kobol that happened? The fact that
the ambush.
Mm-hmm.
Who told?
Yeah. As soon as Alosha starts like wandering around, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, hey, religious lady, why don't you let all of the military people do the scouting first? Like as soon as she started going out into the bushes, I was just like, you're that horror movie girl who went off to pee at the tree
and who tried to save her.
Murderer.
Yeah.
And Sharon did try to save her. She was just like, no, wait, don't pee there. Oh, but she didn't say that, but
yeah, don't like walk there or be
yeah,
careful.
but was it like a no, stop, or was it a no, don't stop, keep going?
She probably had already hit the trigger, and Sharon's super Cylon hearing probably picked it up and was like, no.
Yeah, because she stepped on it, and then that's when she heard it. So,
and then boom,
explosion,
and a hail of gunfire ensues. Everybody's boom, 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 boom. Obviously, from the look that's exchanged between Meyer and Zarek, they were like, now's our chance. But they were, under heavy gunfire, so
but what are they up to?
I think I think it's pretty clear that they're going to try and take out Apollo because he's the next in line. Thing is like Kara and Hilo are there, and Hilo
but it had nothing
both
to
of
do
them
with
out with one forearm, so
yeah, the forearm competition. Hashtag forearm competition.
Maybe
or forearm tryouts. Like who has the best forearm?
Hunk of forearms.
That's right.
But there's so much going on in that scene. It's like everybody's taking cover because the fire is so heavy, and Sharon is just like, she could see where a Cylon went down, and obviously like that's her target. So she starts running across, and the area that they're being fired upon. She must be faster than Cylon bullets or something, because nobody was giving her cover. Was Hilo even giving her cover fire? Like he was shooting, but I don't know if he was giving her cover fire. Sharon.
I don't know. Maybe
if he was the only one.
I don't think
who was trying to give cover fire for her.
No, I don't know.
Didn't she just do her own thing?
Mm-hmm.
I like how chaotic all the firefight scenes in this series are.
Yeah.
Like,
believable.
You watch a lot of sci-fi and even like non-sci-fi. Like you watch a lot of things with military, and it's so like cut. No, like combat is chaos. Like it's absolute chaos, and I love how it's shot in this show, this episode. Like that really, like just struck me really hard. Like you feel like you're there, and you feel like it's absolute fracking chaos. There's no people lined up and pointing guns. No, it's like I love. That's my interjection. I have to say I love how the combat scenes are done in the show. Like it's not pretty. It's not organized. It's absolute fracking chaos, and I think that's great.
Yeah. And you had the two pair off. You had Lee and Starbuck kind of pair together, which was kind of funny. It's like cover me and cover me, like kind of funny. Because even though I can never watch them yet, there is probably Lee and Starbuck fan videos on YouTube or something like that, which will be kind of funny. But yeah, it's a crazy, chaotic scene. We lose a couple of red shirts and Elosia, and not really anybody after that of significance. So the number has dropped again in terms of survivors.
Yeah, Sharon makes it through enemy lines despite Apollo chasing her, and I'm kind of amazed always that people are like, I'm gonna physically, restrain you, and I'm thinking to myself, she's a Cylon. If she wants to throw you into the next tree, you're gonna be in the next tree. Why are you trying? So of course she throws him off of him, and she fires the grenade launcher and blows
she
him up.
restrains herself.
These are two questions that Johnny and I had come up with, or Johnny wanted me to talk to you about. So, because of how Sharon kind of is able to push off Lee, is that because she's a Cylon, or is it because she is pregnant? So does she have mommy strength as well? Is it because she's a Cylon, or is it B because she is a Cylon who has mommy strength?
Good question.
It is apocryphal, but there's a story about a woman who was in a car wreck, and her car flipped over, and she crawled out of her car and pushed the car over to get herself out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's apocryphal. I can't cite anything.
That's mommy strength.
It's like, and I believe this is a bit older of a story, like back from the 1980s. This isn't some internet shit. Like,
this stuff really happens.
Yeah, no, she had something had happened. Her car had ended up flipping over, and they chalked it up to adrenaline, that she was able to turn the car over and lift it to let her children escape. Gosh, I remember that. That was I mean, the internet existed, but
like, you and I were wee, and Kenzie wasn't even around then.
Yeah, this is like pre-hamster dance on the internet.
Pre-hamster dance.
Oh, do you not go back to your internet usage that far back?
Oh no, I didn't get I love the hamster dance.
I don't know what you're talking about. She'll have to show me later. When we're off air. But yeah, does she have mommy strength? Maybe. That'd be kind of a
well, they are stronger, so she probably just pushed them off.
Regardless, she threw Lee off like a fly. Like,
and the other,
we've seen what a Cylon's capable of doing. I mean, we've seen what Leoben did, breaking his.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody else here has ever been in handcuffs, but
no. Never.
Not at the hands of police.
Yeah,
I think that's another story for after we go.
But another question that Johnny had wanted me to bring up is Hilo in this situation. He's pretty much out in the open, has no extra fire covering him, and the Centurions don't shoot him. So is he needed by the Centurions? Because pretty much he did his duty, which was to get Sharon pregnant. So do they need him for some extra, another step in his plan, in their plans? Yeah.
Well, if he could make one, could he make more? Does that mean that he's a prime donor? Maybe. With forearms like that.
Yeah.
So much we can talk about his biceps, but those forearms are pretty impressive. So
the strong forearm children, yeah. When the babies are born, they'll just have really strong, defined forearms.
they all come out looking like Popeye.
Like come out with arms.
Big Cylon and all gun.
Yeah.
Did my sister disappear already?
She probably ran away. She's all,
like, these people are crazy. But we are.
We are crazy.
We are.
Yeah.
In the very best way.
There's the potential that there's the idea of Hilo being needed for an extra part of their plan. Like, maybe he's needed to have more children with people, or who knows? Oh no. Julianne says that's why they chose Hilo.
Right?
What do you think of the prophecy about Cobalt being somebody's going to have to die there?
Well, the whole thing with the gods is that they believe in the people who are human sacrifice, the gods of human sacrifice, pretty much. So it's not surprising that people have to die for other people to get on the surface of Cobalt. So it's not like 100. It's not this whole what. It's just like they're the gods or whatever require human sacrifice, and if they have their allotted numbers of human sacrifice, then you're okay.
Were you surprised at all that Alusha had to die?
No.
Not even a bit.
Because it wasn't in the scriptures that it was a number of people from different colony or different groups had to die. It wasn't just like all from Caprica, all from Cobalt, all from Gemini, all from like this. It was important people in important people representing those different
so do you think Alusha knew she had to die?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
she was prepared
to it, knowing it. Like,
well, I don't think she did it on purpose, but I think that
she was prepared. She prepared herself to be one of those people. I don't think she was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna intentionally step on a landmine to kill myself."
Right.
Yeah. I want to be the first one.
I want my name to be the first person on. Yeah, like no, she's not one of those people. Yeah.
I thought it was very touching. I thought that before they moved on, they had the little scene where, because Rosalind has become somewhat dependent on Alusha for guiding her, and Alusha has very much coached her on, you're a messiah now. You're the chosen one. Like, you need to be the chosen one. That was what you were. Mm-hmm. This is the choice that you made, right? She that happens earlier in the series, and I think that Alusha was a big part of Rosalind having these self-realizations. Mm-hmm. And
so you think Rosalind's taken up the manor, like balls to the wall?
Well, absolutely, she has.
You don't think she has any question about it anymore?
No.
I think that any questions that she has have been pushed aside by her sense of duty and her resolve.
Yeah. Well, now she knows that, like, also too, that this is not bogus anymore, that this is actually like real, and that she has to almost continue on because of the death sort of that she kind of caused, even though it wasn't like on her own volition, that it's like now she has to do it for not only the people that are alive, but the people who are now dying because of this too as well. So, yeah. Bubba goes, in this dystopian, all Canadian future forearms are needed for slap shots.
and I added to that, Bubba, and said, and felling trees.
Yeah.
Hey, the fellow that plays Helos from the Northwest Territories, so he's a good oh no, pardon me, he's from the Yukon.
No, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so he's a good Canadian boy with great forearms.
That's what we got.
This cast is good Canadian boys, aren't they?
Must be a requirement there.
Yeah, there's probably lots of good Canadian boys on this cast.
Yeah.
John Hogan's a good Canadian boy.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike,
I have a robe of his somewhere.
what's Ty's last name? Mike Hogan.
Yeah, I think so.
Michael Hogan. He plays Ty.
Yeah, he's Canadian.
Yeah.
Callie, she's Canadian, right? The actress who plays Callie.
I don't Google all of their
I don't know.
names because I don't want hashtag spoilers, because there may be sometimes hashtag spoilers.
Yeah, that I try not to look up stuff online about.
Do you know how much Johnny and I appreciate you all?
The only thing that I Google is the picture that I make for the thumbnail. That's all I do, and I do that. That's the only thing that I actually Google, and I have to confirm with Johnny. Is this a picture from this actual episode?
Right.
Sometimes.
We appreciate that so much, the dedication that you have. That's fracking awesome.
This many years later, it would be easy to be spoiled. That's for sure.
Yeah, I look up everything when I'm watching a movie. I look up every actor, what they've been in, their heights, because I'm a weirdo like that. And I do that. So it's really hard not to do that, but I'm not tempted as much as I thought I would.
Yeah.
How tall am I, Bobby?
You are 6'3".
What do I weigh?
Oh shit!
Well,
she's got a rap sheet on every one of them.
I love heights.
Bobby uses Google, and she's Googled all of us.
What's my eye color? What's my
hair color?
I don't know. Brown, blue.
Okay.
Height's a whole different story.
What's my criminal record?
What's your rap sheet?
I don't know. I don't care. That doesn't matter.
He's like, I'm not going to Google that shit. I just want to know your body type.
Just heights. I like heights.
Yeah,
I admit it.
Yeah. Just like how Kit Harington is a short ass. Even though he's directed to, even though
he's a cute little thing. He's
all his pretty much all the female counterparts that he's had, minus Emilia Clarke, and Maisie Williams, are taller than him. So that's
hilarious.
Yeah, Kit Harington's like a mini me with a prettier face.
Yeah. So he's just directed to me. Yeah. And he's lucky that Emilia Clarke is just shorter than him. So he actually looks taller.
Who's that?
It's the kitty cat.
She's so funny. She doesn't want to ever hang out with me unless I'm with you guys. Then she comes and hangs out with me. The rest of the time, she couldn't care if I existed. She's a daddy's girl.
Because she knows that you're on YouTube, so she wants to become viral somehow.
She's cat. It's her natural habitat.
Yeah, I watch cat videos all the time.
Right?
So I think
they're funny.
We've kind of made it to the last, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Caprica,
Dama,
or not Caprica, the
Galactica.
Galactica. So it's like Adama confides in D about the shooting, and Lee and Rosalind, and basically D is saying that the entire fleet is feeling the effects of martial law, and it's like she uses kind of the analogy, but it's an analogy, but also a truth that parents are separated from their children and friends and family, and pretty much Adama just is like, oh, like leave me alone, while he's like fixing a model ship, like a boat ship, not a like a spaceship, and then they obviously go, and he makes it known that we're bringing the ship back together, or bringing the family back together. So, what did you feel about Dee and her being like, "Bitch, let's get this show on the road. We've wasted 6 episodes. Let's go."
She did a damn good job.
Well, she did, because I thought that Julianne was just saying, she goes, that monologue went on so long. I'm like, is Adama even talking to anyone? You're totally right, Julianne. I think we are all in that boat. We're like, oh,
but
Boat,
it's such
who
a
is
good
he talking
monologue.
to?
It's such a good monologue. Like I love.
I know.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite pieces of speech in the entire series is
He's-
Adama's monologue when he's talking there. He's like, when he's talking about rage.
rage and betrayal. And, I was just like, I'm watching this and I'm like, not only questioning, the fact that the monologue was going on so long, but that it was such a self-pity party.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, wow, wow, people turn their backs on me, wow, wow, and I'm so betrayed, and I've got this rage, and it's welling up within me, and I was just like, dude.
Who was doing
like,
that?
Adama at the end of the episode, I was just like, go start an emo band.
No, but he even acknowledges that he's like, this is unreasoning anger. He even acknowledges that he says this is not anger, this is rage. You feel it. It sits in the pit of your stomach, and you can't do anything about it. It's just there.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to react to it. And honestly, I felt the exact opposite of you, Clarissa. Like, I feel like this is him working it out. Like, I could act this way. I could act on the way I feel right now. But what I need to do is something else.
Well, see, but I thought that, Dee really hit the hammer on the head when she says, she goes, I mean, she understands that he's mad, but she's, at the point that she starts saying what he doesn't want to hear,
I liked that.
She stopped and she was like, no, you invited me here because you think that I don't have an opinion. You think that I'm not going to tell you how things are. And I got something to tell you. You picked the wrong gal because I'm going to tell you the way things are. You're not upset.
You think he knew that?
Oh, I think that on some level everybody knows when they're being like that, but they don't want to admit it to themselves.
Do you think he knew that she was going to tell it like it is?
I don't think he knew. But I think that if he was going to hear it from anybody, he would want to hear it from somebody like her.
Yeah, I don't think he expects to hear it like it is from anybody except for maybe Ty.
Or from Lee. Or even Starbuck. But yeah, no, I think that I won't get into details of any specific conversations that I've had with friends, but I know that I often, when I talk to people, I think about how I'll mull through things. I'll mull through things in my head, and I will entertain all sorts of ideas. And sometimes you need somebody to like I did earlier. Sometimes somebody has to come along and say, hey, you know what? You're making yourself crazy. You're making yourself crazy, and you don't need to do that, and you don't need to do that. And that's what Adama is doing here. He's putting these scenarios all through his head and all this and blah, blah, blah. I've been betrayed, and who can I trust and all this. And finally she's like, you know what? You got to just like get over that and just look at what there is and what you can do. And this is what you can do. So why aren't you doing it? You fucked up. So now you got to make it right. So make it right. Stop agonizing over it.
Yeah.
But is it going to be the right thing to do?
We'll have to pass. I'll have to pass on your sister's comment to Johnny and Bobby.
I'm sure I'll read it. I made her come back for that. Good night, Jay.
Oh, Jennifer, I'm
Bye,
sorry
Jennifer.
that Johnny is not here to call you out in his sexy Southern voice. So I'm just going to go ahead and try and do my best. And I'm not going to sound as good, but I just want you to know I'm putting forth the effort.
That Southern draw trying to grasp.
Sorry, I don't have a sexy voice, okay?
Bobby, what did you think about Adama saying, let's get the family back together?
Liked it.
Yeah.
He's smartened up. Whatever was ailing him, he's ready to go now.
What about Ty's face after?
He looked confused. He was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Say what? Yeah, say what? Yeah. It's a crazy way to end a two-part episode. Yeah.
That's my favorite line from this entire episode. It's time to heal the wounds.
There were too many people smiling on the bridge for it to turn out well. Maybe I just jaded from Game of Thrones, but I was just like,
yeah. Someone's gonna die next episode. Someone important.
They're gonna jump to Cobalt and they're gonna be like, Adama's come to attack. Pew 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 pew.
And then
no.
And then Adama gets shot again. Oh my god.
Oh no, that doesn't need to happen again. How much time have we spent in hospitals since the series started? How long have they been gone?
Yeah, but hospital scenes are great because you get Doc Cottle.
Because Doc Cottle serves no other purpose on the fleet besides him being in the hospital. Or
besides him being a Cylon. I know it.
I know it. What is he gonna do? Be in a hospital?
See, Simon proved all doctors are Cylons.
All the Cylon doctors.
Oh my gosh, that is like such a compartmentalized decision. Like all doctors are bad because Simon was bad.
No, all doctors are Cylons because Simon's a Cylon. Whether they're bad or not goes back to your question from earlier.
I do have to point out that Cottle doesn't have pretty eyes like Simon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does have pretty eyes.
Yeah. So we've kind of reached the end of the episode.
We have.
So do we want to give our ratings for the episodes and our Cylons and our sign-offs?
Yeah. Ratings, Cylons. I mean, yeah, that's the important part.
Who wants to go first? I can go first.
You can go first.
So I
Who are your Cylons?
I got Meyer, whatever his name is, the one that's trying to conspire with Stellic, and the ties. I'm still stuck on the ties. Like, come on, it's so suspicious still. I'm still just like, ties still got me. Plus, it's easy to remember.
Who are your Cylons?
Mine?
She just gave her Cylons.
The ties, and Meyer, the new guy. Selleck's BFF.
Oh, Meyer.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Mother boy.
And my rating for this episode is, I'd say, 9 surprise I love yous.
Oh, that's appropriate right after Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Oh. Bobby?
Bobby, who are your Cylons and what you're rating? Cammy?
Of course. Cammy Callian. Hey, where was Billy?
Callie isn't she's in prison.
Yeah, she's in the joint.
Oh, Billy.
Billy?
Amy Kelly and Billy.
And what's your rating for the episode, Bobby?
Yeah, but where's Billy? I want to know.
Where's Billy?
I don't know. I'm gonna say 8, but I don't think I gotta watch it again because I missed too much stuff.
8 what? 8
Eight what?
Manalons?
8, I don't pay attentions.
8. I was distracted.
Yeah, I was just distracted in AL Red Sox fans chat too, and I deleted something or somebody's comments. I wasn't even looking at the phone, but I'm hitting stuff and I don't know what I'm doing. So I was distracted here too.
Your Twitter husband is distracting you.
I told him he's got to take away
He's
my.
your Twitter dad, so you should show some respect to Kenzie.
He's got to
I
ground
know.
me. He's so proud of you.
Julia.
Talks about you all the time.
He says it all the time.
I'm like, Al, you want to talk some baseball? He's like, no, I want to talk some Kenzie.
I'm so proud of her.
My Twitter parents, And then I also have to be proud of my Twitter children, which are Justin Thomas and Foya Hexa. So, yeah, they're my Twitter children. And Bobby's
your Twitter redheaded stepbrother.
Sure. Because Johnny's my Twitter husband, so.
Are you guys looking at Julianne's ratings?
Yeah. 9.5. 9.75 Dexter's dad in a leather jacket, or 9.75 smelling pyramid balls.
Well, I give. Did you finish, Bobby?
Yeah,
Yes.
9 distracted moments. 8.8 distracted moments.
I have Bobby written down as 8 distracted moments.
Nice.
I'm trying to find the person I hid. Oh boy.
I give this episode a 9.5 Hilo's forceful forearms.
Oh yeah.
And my Cylons for this week are Doc Coddle, Hot Dog.
Hot dog. Mm-hmm.
And did anybody else notice Adama crushing walnuts in his bare hand?
He's like, hold on.
Yes. Did you see him lift a weight straight out?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
holding his arms up, that's tough.
I'm gonna. Oh my god, that boxing scene of that man. Oh, anyway. So, but yeah, hashtag Adama Mama. So, but yeah, I'm gonna put Adama on my Cylon list this week. He's a beefy dude though. Mm-hmm. But I was like, they kept focusing on those walnuts, and I'm like, why are they focusing on those walnuts so much?
Because Adama is Hodor's great grandson.
Or great grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you look at it.
If he had any babies.
Oh, what if Battlestar? What if they found Earth, but it was actually Planetos?
Oh my god.
So my Cylons for this week are
George R.R. Martin,
David and Dan.
Yeah,
and my rating for this week is I give this episode 9.5. Firefights with a grenade launcher ending it all.
It's very long. It's a very long description, but it's okay. So,
well, I gave you guys 3 Cylons. Like,
no, you did not.
Yes, I totally did.
We talked over you. And you probably muted yourself.
He did
'cause
mute
we
himself.
know you.
Definitely
We know
muted
you,
himself.
mister. We know
You are
tricks.
untrustworthy.
Yeah.
I'm totally trustworthy.
So we can our final thought and where people can find all of us, all of our shenanigans on extra places. So I'll go first. This episode is great. I'm sad that it's a part 2, but excited to know what the part 2 means. And yeah, you can find me on my channel, on Cylon John's here, or on Johnny's channel. My channel, next Wednesday, we will be going over season 4, episode 2, The Lion and the Rose, also known by fans as the Reigns of not the Reigns of Castamere, the Purple Wedding. And joining me will be Johnny and Clarissa, and maybe somebody else, whoever wants to pop in and talk about that crazy episode, because it is crazy. And then the 2 episodes that I have to fill in, I'll do those in due time, most definitely before Wednesday. But yeah, those will be podcast style. So got that going for me. And John, do you want to say where the people can find you?
Yes, you can find me obviously on the Cylon Johns. You can also find me at my own channel, which is John St. Baptiste. For those who are Thrones fans, by the end of the weekend, probably Sunday, I will be dropping the season 3 playlist, which I'm taking every season of Game of Thrones and I'm breaking it down 1 track per episode for my definition of it, or what I think is the most defining thing of that, the most important point of that episode, so to speak. And it's all great music, and that's what my channel is about, is music, sharing music with everybody. And obviously I'm here, and once in a while Mackenzie invites me to come out and play because he's nice like that.
Yeah, I try. Clarissa, where can we find you on the interwebs?
On the interwebs, you can find me every Friday here on Cylon Johns. And this coming Wednesday, like Mackenzie said, you'll see me on the Episode Club on her channel, reviewing The Lion and the Rose, Game of Thrones, The Purple Wedding. I can't wait. It's one of my favorite episodes of all time. Otherwise, I've got another project possibly up my sleeve, but I'm not going to give away any details quite yet. I have to talk to the gang and get some input. I just wanted to do some shout outs before I go. Because we had some people drop in. Sly the Tank Benjamin, thanks for popping in. I know that they've gone live with Drinks and Nose Things, so they had to split, but he dropped in. I want to say thank you to Bubba Husky, Dexter's mom, Jennifer Catalano. Thanks again for joining us this week. Catherine, thank you for coming in and joining us. Please do start watching Battlestar Galactica. I think you're really going to enjoy it.
We may have converted someone to the dark side.
No, you'll love it. I'm joining this crew for the first time watched through. I was super thrilled when they asked me to join them, and the show's definitely been worth it. So I think you'll enjoy it, Catherine. Thank you to AU Pack Mule, Terry T, Julianne 89, of course, our honorary Jill. Did I miss anybody?
Lady Dreamfire.
Yes, Lady Dreamfire. Thank you for coming by.
And my Septuagint of Secrets was also here.
Oh, good. I missed her.
And
Red
if you
Sox
get the
fan.
opportunity to check out Julianne 89's artwork, because it's freaking amazing.
And
I didn't see
Red Sox fan
either.
Yeah, and I think, and of course,
Sox
thank you, Johnny, for coming in at the beginning of the show and gracing us with your presence on your birthday. We love you, Johnny.
Yes, on his way to
Florida. An awesome dude.
He's on his way to Florida, so
yeah. So he's on the road again.
And Terry T, I think, was the last one. But yeah, we got them all.
Indeed.
Bobby, if you're not going to say it, I will say it. Buy Bobby stuff. If you need to see Bobby stuff in action, go watch all of Johnny's streams that Johnny is in, because it's always featured in the background in his now dubbed Maester's Nook, where Bobby has made lovely, lovely Game of Thrones things for Johnny for his birthday. And if you want to see them in more detail, go check out the special stream that Johnny did with Bobby, talking about all of her crafts and lovely things. And get Bobby's Facebook page more likes. It's in the description below.
Yes.
Bobby
Handmade
gave
by
me some
Bobby.
amazing stuff, and I mean, she gave me like rings for my wine glasses, and I drink a lot of wine, so those are good.
Wine markers.
Wine charms, yeah. Wine.
Don't touch my glass.
Don't touch my glass.
Those
Say
are.
we all. That's literally what they say. Is so say we all. Like, how awesome is that?
That's just
Beautiful. And speaking of that,
yeah. So what do we always say to the Cylon gods almost in this?
so say we all.
So say we all.
Say we all.
Bye everyone.
Thanks for joining us.